It's good.
That's good. All right, Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
We want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash.
Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect GMS Pittsburgh, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai. I'm the brother Ariala.
My brother Azariah.
So, today's lesson to the spirit, we're going to speak on the strange laws of the Bible / rebellion. All right, and we call them strange in this day of time because when people will hear these different laws, it is something that will make their head explode. You know. So we're gonna start off. Let's go to Deuteronomy 21st chapter. Or you got one in mind you want to hit first?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Let me get it. So, Lucky, because like the bro made a statement, okay, people think it's strange when they would hear these laws, okay? And these are the laws that govern, okay, the Israelites, the people in this faith.
Right, you want to probably speak a little louder, brother.
Yeah, these are the laws that govern the people in this faith, okay? And so the people of the world are going to think that you off, you weird, you a weirdo, is the word they like to use down here. Okay, 1 Peter 4. Let me go up a little bit. Starting at verse 3. For in time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles, when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wines, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it strange that ye run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you. Okay, so by us doing the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai to the best of our abilities, people look at us like we're strange because we're not following the multitude to do evil. You see? So people look at us like we're the outcasts, you know? So that just came to mind when the bro said the word strange, you know?
That's right. Back you up, the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to wrestle judgment. That's right. So just backing up the point, you know, we're not following the multitude to do evil, so people think it's strange that we run not with them. We don't partake in these different holidays that they partake in. So they say, what's wrong with you? What has gotten into you? We have celebrated these things all of our lives, but now all of a sudden you stopped, or you don't eat certain foods. People assume that you're Muslim. You know, and it ain't just that we don't eat swine. We don't eat shellfish. We don't eat anything that's abominable. You got Jake eating snake, squid, frogs, what else? Eels, alligator, yeah. You see, and we frown upon these things. But see, we frown upon wickedness, but they frown upon righteousness.
Right. Yep. I ain't mean to take you from the spirit.
No, that was some good points. If you got something, bring it out.
Go ahead and bring it out.
Because we dealing with the spirit is dealing with the strange laws of the Bible, and like I said, our laws ain't strange, but it will be strange in this time, in this day and age, and we dealing with rebellion. So when you eat these things that the Lord said don't eat, you're being in a rebellious spirit.
That's right.
All right, so I'll get this one. I'll go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21. You made a point about how we governed ourselves, you know, by these ways. Before I get into that, I gotta hit this one first. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 1, it says, Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that you may live and go and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you. You shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor, for all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great who have God so nigh unto them as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? Only take heed to thyself and keep thou soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
Yeah, God. See, this is our wisdom in the sight of the nation. This truth here, this wisdom of Yahweh Shai, is the single most important treasure on the planet Earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the key to everything. You know how what they called it, and I think it was in the Avengers. They had that little cube that was a tesseract, and everybody was fighting over it. You know, I think Loki had it, and he caused so much great trouble when when Thanos finally got it.
I missed that one.
You missed that one?
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it one.
Yeah, man. It was so that's like this knowledge. It was actually it was actually a key. It was a key. Okay, yeah. And this is the key to everything right here. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yeah.
This is the greatest treasure in the world. So
did you catch how the scriptures say, "Teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons"?
God, the men.
The men.
Dealing with the men.
Everything was being established through the men. Mm-hmm. And to you sons I call, roughly paraphrasing.
That's right.
You got something?
No, you was about to bring out in the beginning a certain scripture we was going to...
Yeah, we'll start at the book of Deuteronomy. So, let's start with this one first. This is dealing with a rebellious son. Okay? If this law, if the laws of the scriptures was established today, a lot of things you will not see here on earth today. Okay? It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 21. We're going to start at verse 18. And it says, if a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastised him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out to the elders of his city and to the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shall thou put evil, Salakia, so shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. Okay, so this public stoning of what it was, the other children would have seen this and say, you know what? I'm not behaving like him. Right? Because you know everyone brought their children out to see it. Because it was to put evil away from Israel. Okay? That the other sons would look on and say, I'm not going to be this rebellious son. I'm not going to be this glutton. I'm not going to be this drunkard. I'm going to be a productive son. Alright? See, this will stop all the niggerdom shit today. If that law was established. Look at all these stubborn and rebellious jakes that's running around all throughout the earth. That won't be taking place if that law was established right now. You think Jake will be sitting in their mama's house, eating Cheerios, smoking weed, blasting music and playing Madden all day? Hell no.
I got one. Deuteronomy 17, we're going to start at, verse 2. It says, if there be found among you within any of thy gates, which Yahweh thy power giveth thee, man or woman that have wrought wickedness in the sight of Yahweh thy power, and transgressing his covenant, and have gone and served other gods and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the hosts of heaven which I have not commanded. And it's not the only things that Jake worship. They worship themselves by doing what they want to do. Okay, because you're saying that you're your own God. All right. And do we got the other phone bubble shot just in case? Because I ain't know we ain't really been checking that kind of board. Okay, it's because worshiping yourself, doing what you want to do is like worshiping yourself, man. All right, and so you're basically setting yourself up as an idol. Okay, that's a very proud stance. So that counts too. You're worshiping yourself. All right. So continuing on, verse 4, and it be Deuteronomy 17:4, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true. Okay, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shalt thou bring forth that man or woman, I'll watch it, and thou shalt stone them with stones till they die. They won't turn down.
You have to turn down. Go ahead, bro.
At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So thou shalt put the evil away from among you. You just said that. It happened so that we can put evil away from among us. All right, and shalom to everybody on the comment board. All right, so I just want to back you up with that. Okay, that's the reason why the Lord had these capital punishments happen is to keep the evil away from among us, so that somebody would see, like the bro just mentioned, would see that and say, "Let me not do that." A similar example where she wasn't put to death, but she was set forth as an example is Queen Vashti, Artaxerxes' wife. She was told to come down. He was having a great banquet and he wanted to show off his woman's beauty. Okay, which the beauty of a woman is the glory of her man. You see? So he commanded his wife, to come down and make herself present in the midst of his friends and his banquet. And she refused. And so what happened? She was put out of her position so that the other women may fear and not be emboldened against their husbands to do wickedly. So that's another example. Now, it wasn't as an extreme example, but she basically got cut off. She lost her position. Okay? And so in Israel, you would die for doing wickedness. Go ahead, Ox.
That's right. Got another one. Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go into her and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she bears shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel.
Yeah, that's the law, man.
You think a woman would let that ride today? You tell a woman some shit like that today?
I don't even like his brother. That nigga ugly.
Man, women will go crazy. You tell them some shit like that. Well, I ain't gonna say shit like that, but if you tell them the law.
Yeah, straight up.
That's strange. Women, women will look at you, not even just women, people in the world will look at you like you got 7 heads.
Hey, you even got men that probably wouldn't be down with that. I don't like her. She this, she that, and the other.
Ooh.
There was a man in the scripture.
Onan ain't do it.
Nope.
But see, that Onan got put to death. I'm gonna get it too, because Onan got put to death because that was an act of rebellion.
It sure was. Did we read that yet? Rebellion?
We didn't get it yet. We can read it as soon as I get the one with Onan. That's 1 Samuel 15 verse 32. Okay. So let's get into scriptures, the act of rebellion that Onan committed. The book of Genesis chapter 38 verse let's start at verse 6. It says, and Judah took a wife for his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, go into thy brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to thy brother. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his. And it came to pass, when he went into his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. That was rebellion. He was being disobedient. Now that's another example of how you know that the oral law was being established back then, the oral law. Because when you go into the regular law, or not, the law that the Lord given to Moses, which Moses given to us, right? We read in the book of Deuteronomy of raising up that seed for your brother, that his name may not be put out. But see, Onan wanted to do his own thing. You know what? I know that ain't gonna be my seed, so I'm gonna just put it on the ground. The Lord slew his ass for that, man. Okay? And that's why scripture say obedience is better than sacrifice.
Romans 10:3, to back the bro up, I had already pulled it.
Mm-hmm.
For they being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness and going forth and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High.
That's right. Yeah, because you people think these things that we're reading, you may think is strange. Right? And that's only because the society that we live in today, to where make you think upon these things as strange because you have a westernized mentality. But then you women get mad when we talk about having more than one wife. You see, when that comes up, it's like, oh no, you know what, there's no way the God will not allow that.
You just set off a bomb in the room. You said that one. That's so hypocritical. I'm gonna go get me a man then.
Mm-hmm. That's double standards.
Yeah, that's you being a hypocrite. Wait, I ain't set the rule up.
Right, but see, it's so deep with that though. It's like if you understand how the Lord, and then you don't even gotta fully understand, but how the Lord has created and structured the bodies of a male and a female. You woman, you can't even populate on a level that you're supposed to with just dealing with you being one woman. It's called nation building. Because really, having a lot of children, men having more than one wife, we think of it and we look at it as just, we just laying down, you popping a woman, you busting off, and she, having her little what they call that, climax or whatnot. No, it was bigger than that, man. Okay, it was about nation building, and it was to help your business. The more children you had, the more your business will flourish. So it's deeper. It's just not no pleasurable thing and what we think on this side of just having sex. No, man. Same with marriage. Marriage wasn't about, I love him or I love her. No. Those were business agreements.
Typically. There were situations like with Jacob, he was in love with Rachel. He did all this. Yeah. But he came out with great substance. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But typically a man is the one that falls in love with the woman off of her countenance. Yeah. Scriptures talk about the countenance of a woman cheereth the soul, or cheereth the heart, and the man will be satisfied with nothing more. So basically, but
I'm just trying to give a broader.
No, but coming from the right mindset, the scriptures also say, desire her not for pleasure. Look not upon the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. So it should be, this will be a good wife to have children with. She's this, she's that. She will be able to take care of this and that. And also, like you said, the more kids you have, the more basically like servants you have, pretty much. Those are like, I won't want to say collateral, because of course it's deeper than that. You want to procreate, you love your children. But in those times, that was more helping hands. Okay, and that's why when a man would come and take a man's daughter, which a lot of y'all can't even, we might have to go into the rape.
We got to go into it.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all, that's why y'all don't understand why the dowry had to be paid to the father, because you just took away one of his servants. Women did a lot back then. Was it Rachel that watered no, it wasn't Rachel. It was Rebecca that watered the camels. When the servant went to go get the wife for Isaac, Rebecca came out and she watered the camels. He said, he prayed to the Lord, whoever comes and waters the camels, that's the wife. And it just so happened that was the daughter of that was the one.
Yep.
It would have been what, Laban? No. Either way, that was the woman. And she was doing, the women did that. They grinded meal. They did a lot of stuff. So children meant servants.
Yeah, Laban's daughters was Rachel
Leah.
and Leah.
I
Yeah.
forget who the kinsman was.
That was his
Rebecca
mom.
was.
That was his mother's brother.
His mother's brother.
Right.
So
You know, but we just trying to get you off of the small mindset of what you think of when we speak about these things in the scriptures. Everything was bigger than that. You know, it was way bigger than that. So, you got something?
no, go ahead.
Okay. So, verse 7, it says, "And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate and to the elders and say, My husband's brother refuseth to raise up his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak to him, and if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, So it shall be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house. And his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that have loosed his shoe." You know, so that's another aspect. So you would get it. You would be called a proverb and a byword in Israel. Look at that man. He couldn't even build up his brother's name. How dare you?
Basically, and I did want to. Is it time for the Samuel? Because there's a point I want to make in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so First Samuel. All right, this is 15 and 23. Okay, and you know, everybody pretty much remember, should know this story at this point. But Samuel was sent to the what they had been called at this time. I know Agag was the king. Was it the Amalekites? I know it was the
Amalekites.
The Amalekites.
Yeah.
He was sent to destroy the Amalekites. The Lord told him to destroy everything that moved, animals and all.
I think it was called an Agite or something.
I know the king was an Agagite. Let me go up.
It was Edom though.
Amalek.
Amalekite.
Yep, that was right. Okay, and basically he was told to destroy everything. And then Samuel came around. He's like, nigga, do I hear sheep or something? What's going on? So he saved the sheep. Like, oh yeah, I can do great sacrifices with these. He's like, nigga, I ain't tell you to do that. So let's catch up. Samuel 15 and 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Okay, and we was talking about this in the kitchen, so I'm just gonna speak on it briefly. Okay, idolatry. It says it's as witchcraft and idolatry. So you're setting yourself up as an idol. You're setting yourself up as, I'm gonna do what I want to do. See, when you're stubborn, you're saying, I'm not going to do what you want to do, Lord. I make my own rules. So it's going back to like what we brought up earlier, okay, that they have not submitted themselves into the righteousness of the Most High. Man.
Right.
View your own God. I'm a self-made millionaire. You know? I'm self-made nigga. Well, you're going to see that you ain't make yourself and you ain't going to take yourself out. The Lord is.
You ain't gonna finish the story of it?
Well,
Or you want to briefly touch on the story of what he did? What happened? What happened to Saul after that?
Let's keep going. Verse 20. Let's continue. Because thou hast rejected the word of Yahweh, he have also rejected thee from being king.
Boom. There you go. Just by him not being obedient to what the Heavenly Father said go do. So he rejected him from being king. You know? But yeah, I mean, there's more to the story, but that's the point of it.
That's pretty much the point. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Can you get up, since you pulled up the rebellion, can you get the time we was fighting with Joshua and they took those what they was told to slay the nation, and they took and hid the was it they gods or something? They took something.
Oh, you talking about the Babylonian garment?
And they hid them, and they was looking for get that bubble get shot, man, because that goes into the story of rebellion, and with them doing so, we was getting slaughtered behind that.
God, straight up.
So okay, so I'll get this one while you get that. So let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 21. Now everyone knows a priest had a very high position in Israel. Okay? Now, let's just get it. Leviticus chapter 21, verse. This is dealing with the priest. So let's start at verse 6. It says, "They shall be holy unto their God, and not profane the name of their God. For the offerings of the Lord made by fire, and the bread of their God they do offer. Therefore shall they be holy. They shall not take a wife that is a whore, or profane, neither shall they take a woman put away from her husband, for he is holy unto his God. Thou shalt sanctify him therefore, for he offereth the bread of thy God. He shall be holy unto thee, for I the Lord would sanctify you, am holy. And the daughter of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaneth her daughter, she shall be burnt with fire." So this is the judgment of the daughter of a priest. If she was to be a whore, which is heavily promoted today in society, women are the shit if they're being a whore. Well, you were burnt by fire. That was your judgment. But see, you people hear that today, you say, "Oh man, why would God do something like that?" Well, that's a point of putting evil away from Israel. Establishing that fear.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how fear is established. Just like you got the nigga in the neighborhood, he running things, and you happen to steal some product from him. He got to make an example out of you. Why?
Straight up.
So everyone else can know if we do something like this, he's gonna harm us or he'll kill us.
Yeah.
So people will think twice about, nah, I ain't gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't doing that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. They give you the same concept they put forth in basically, which I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've heard about it and things like that. And if you ever go to prison and you bitch up when a motherfucker come fuck with you,
It's on.
Everybody gonna keep fucking with you because they gonna look at you like you a mark, you a bitch. So Lord showing people straight off he wasn't playing.
Yep.
You see. I want to read this too. Habakkuk 1:13 says, "Thou art of purer eyes than to behold evil, and canst not look on iniquity." Okay, and so I just want to get that half of it. Okay, which I think there may be another one, but that's another reason because the Most High dwelt with Israel for a long time. Okay, he had the Ark of the Covenant with us, and so on and so forth, where he actually dwelt. Mm-hmm. Okay, his spirit was dwelling in there, and so that one couldn't be around the Lord. You couldn't even come in the inner temple if you have blemishes, being a priest. Okay, so that's another reason the Lord was like, got to put all this wickedness out, and he had to turn his face from us because we became so filthy. And now the only way back is through Yahweh Shai, He got to stand in front. That's why he's an intercessor. He's a go-between. Well, Lord, they said this down there, Father, Go ahead, Doc.
That's right. I was trying to actually written the wrong one down. So let's go to You still getting that one?
Yeah, actually I got it.
All right, I'll just read this real quick. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 11. It says, "When men strive together one with another, and the wife of the one draweth near, for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smiteth him, and putteth forth her hand, and taketh him by the secrets, then thou shalt cut off her hand, thy eyes shall not pity her." You see, so a woman injecting herself with two men, striving together, fighting, and she grabbed the other man's balls. Well, guess what happened to this woman? Her hand will be chopped right off immediately. Okay? Tell that to somebody today. They're like, well, was it that serious? But that's just how it is.
Yeah, because if you do the wrong thing, you can mess that man up for the rest of his life.
Mm-hmm.
They had kids and all that.
Yeah. See, you see how you
might break a man's nutsack or something, or man bust one of his balls or some crazy shit, and he'll be through.
You went deeper. And men were what? Meant to procreate.
Yeah, you might have fucked up his whole family line. He can't have no kids.
Yeah, he can't have no kids. It's over with.
Yeah.
That was a good
He
point.
got no sons. He just got daughters. Now he can't have none because your ass want to grab some ball. Shit, you probably got his ass in that fight anyway.
Oh, man.
Well, anyway, I'm just, you know what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead, yeah.
Hey, Joshua 6, all right, and 17s, I'm just jump around through this to get the, some of the backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, now this
Jericho.
This is another example of rebellion.
Mm-hmm. So this is, during the time of Joshua, it was around the city of Jericho. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to read verse 16. It says, "And it came to pass, at the 7th time, when the priests blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, Shout, for Yahweh hath given you the city." Which Joshua, you would also pronounce that Yahweh shout, as he delivered them in that time. "And the city shall be accursed, even it and all that are therein, to the Most High. Only Rahab the harlot shall live, she and all that are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. And ye in any wise keep yourselves from the accursed thing, lest ye make yourselves accursed when ye take of the accursed thing, and make the camp of Israel a curse and trouble it. But all the silver and gold and vessels of brass and iron are consecrated unto Yahweh. They shall come unto the treasury of the Most High." So let's continue. Okay. Skip down because there's a lot. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. Let's continue reading. Next one. "But the children of Joshua 7:1. But the children of Israel committed a trespass in the accursed thing. For Achan or Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against the children of Israel." All right. All right. So basically, Joshua sent them up to war. He sent 3,000 men up to smite the camp. Joshua 7:4. "So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai," which is Ai. "And the men of Ai smote of them about 36 men, and they chased them down. Okay, wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water." And I'm jumping around. Verse 6.
Yeah, let's just read all the way down.
Read all the way
Get the
down.
point,
Okay.
yeah.
Verse 6. "And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of Yahweh until the eventide, he and the elders of Israel, and put dust upon their heads. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord power, wherefore hast thou in all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to the Most High we had been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us around, and surround us, and cut off our name from the earth. And what wilt thou do unto thy great name? And the Most High Yahweh said unto Joshua, Get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel have sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also. And they have put it even among their own stuff. Therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except you destroy the accursed from among you. Whew. So, like the brother was mentioning earlier, they had to put away the wickedness from among Israel, so that others not be corrupted, and also in this case, so that the Lord will continue to fight for them. You see? Keep reading.
Yeah.
Okay. Up, sanctify the people, and say, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. Separate yourselves, get ready. For thus saith the Lord power of Israel, there is even an accursed thing in the midst of thee. O Israel, thou canst not stand before thine enemies until ye take away the accursed thing from among you.
Yeah, so no matter how many times you're going to go up and fight, you're going to lose every single battle until this accursed thing is from you. So now Joshua went about like, wait a minute, hold on. One of you mofos got some bullshit that I told y'all don't take in the first place. Who got it? Go ahead. Because Jake be on some bullshit. Now, there was times at war where the Lord was like, okay, You know, if you want some woman that don't belong to no men, kill the men, take the woman. If certain jewels and things like that, there was times the Lord allowed us to do that. But in this particular instance, He like, nah, we're not doing that. And the result of doing so was getting people getting Jake killed.
When we get to 15, I'm gonna probably skip down to the point after that because it goes tribe by tribe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joshua 7. Okay. In 14 it says, "In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which Yahweh taketh shall come according to the families thereof, and the family which the Most High shall come by households, and the household which the Most High shall take shall come man by man. And it shall be that he that is taken with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, he and all that he hath, because he hath transgressed the covenant of the Most High, and because he hath wrought folly in Israel." So whoever got it, they gonna die. All right. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken. Okay, and so we're gonna go down. It speaks about the different families.
19.
Yeah, verse 19. "And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to Yahweh power of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me." And Achan answered Joshua and said, "Indeed I have sinned against Yahweh power of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment, and 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, I coveted them and took them. And behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under me." So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua and unto the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Most High. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Achor. Okay? And Joshua said, "Why hast thou troubled us? The Most High shall trouble thee this day." And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones. And they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So Yahweh was turned from the fierceness of his anger, wherefore the name of that place was called the Valley of Achor unto this day.
That's just going to show you the seriousness of rebellion. You know, rebellion is a sin of witchcraft, right? And what do you do to a witch? I shall not suffer a witch to live. You're seeing these examples.
Right, I was actually just watching a breakdown that the Dallas Brothers did. I forget exactly what they was going into 100%, but the scripture came out that basically spoke about destroying all them that wear strange garments, right?
Strange apparel, yeah.
Strange apparel, right. And so they were speaking about it on the physical aspect, how these different captivities that Jake was in, they had to learn certain customs and wear certain garments and things of that nature. But from a spiritual aspect, okay, those that wearing strange apparel have not submitted themselves and come back to their heritage and to be covered by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because guess what? We get those white robes, which is the righteousness of the Most High. If you're not coming up with that garment, what did it say about the man that climbed up some other way into the marriage feast? He said, "Sir, where is your wedding garment?" Right? So if you don't have that spiritual garment, you have on this strange apparel, you're going to get destroyed. And see, that represented Jake desiring that strange apparel instead of the ways and the righteousness of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He chose the Babylonian garment and the riches of the world when the Lord told him, "Leave that shit where you found it."
Yeah. Getting Jake slaughtered and everything.
Through. Being selfish.
Being selfish.
These fucking pastors doing that same shit.
That's right.
You see, just a little note I want to go into.
And you get the I wrote the wrong scripture down. The man gather the sticks on the Sabbath. Yeah, so we just going through the different laws that will be considered strange today, and showing going over history of rebellion. Okay, and the reason why we had to go through that whole lesson with Achan is because to show you what was taking place for his rebelliousness, right? And on top of that, not just that his rebelliousness was getting Jake killed when he was going to fight, he got his whole family burned. Showing you the whole household, in most cases, fall under the men.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. Numbers 15 and 32 is where we'll start. And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. And they put him in ward, meaning prison, because it was not declared what should be done unto him. And the Lord said unto Moses, they shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died, as the Lord commanded Moses.
See, everyone was in agreement. This was a family thing. Okay, everybody come out. Everybody get a piece of the stone in. So when you see it going on in the Middle East, when everybody got these stones, they all doing it as a group. That's what we did.
Yeah.
We did the same thing. You know? But why? Because if people would have seen that being done, they would have made light of it. Okay? Oh, so he doing work? Well, I got some work I need to attend to too. That's how Jake is.
It shows you how seriously they take their powers, their gods, their false deities that they worship. They take them serious. Okay? Because a lot of those things are transgressions against, that power that they worship. And so in order to obey they got them damn Muslims that'll blow themselves up.
Yeah.
For their power. I forget what they're called.
Oh,
Shiite or Sunni, whatever it is. One of them groups, they'll kamikaze. They'll run in there with and blow their ass up. With them, he wanted his 100 virgins early.
Yeah.
And so it just show you, man, how passionate they is about these guys that ain't gods. Okay. And when Israel would have known the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua when they was keeping these things as a nation.
Right.
And so in order to appease his wrath, like we read at the end of that last one, okay, it said that his wrath was appeased, man.
Appeased, that's right. There's a one. Can you try to roughly type it in or paraphrase it? It talks about if someone try to go to someone and tell them they can worship other gods.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Because that was another serious matter. You had people that I think they was going to them, it might say secretly or privately. They would go to them privately and say, you could worship another deity. Let's get the judgment on that.
Here it goes. It's Deuteronomy 13.
Deuteronomy 13, okay.
Deuteronomy 13. And hey, man,
is it at 6? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Now, in a way, this is what Martin Luther King did. Now, they got one, because it's funny, because when was Martin Luther King Day? Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, brothers was going in on it. I was like, damn, I didn't even realize. But, okay, it's a key word in here that remind me of Martin Luther King, because essentially that's what he was doing. He was preaching, which he used to be a pastor, so he was basically preaching Yahweh, which was not another, but it was another. This whole unity, come together, love thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is dealing with an enticer to idolatry.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, basically that was idol worship, telling everybody to join together. Yahweh himself said he came for us to put a sword and to put division between people. So Deuteronomy 13 and 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, which you got actual prophetic dreams, and then you got these damn false ass dreams like I have a dream, and giveth thee a sign or wonder, and the sign or wonder come to pass whereof he spake thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Salat. Is that the one you want?
Yeah, you can go to 3 and then jump to 6.
Okay. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your power proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your power with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, okay, come, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto you, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth, no matter where these gods is located. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him.
Surely what?
But thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. So not only is y'all gonna kill him, it ain't like you're gonna say, hey, y'all, look, I gotta give you up. You know, I ain't gonna do it to you. No.
Since he came to, because it's like he came to you first, you gotta be the first to act on it. Like, oh, so you try to draw me away from my power? I gotta, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's on. You know, and so that gets rid of that no snitching policy that Jake loves.
There you go.
That gets rid of that right there.
Yeah, hey, because in the kingdom, you brought it up.
What?
You know, there's another one that goes into that too. If you see, I forget how it goes. I know if you see something happen, you got to say something. If you didn't say something, you was getting judged too. I forget what that scripture is.
I don't know where that one's at.
Okay, let's finish reading this one then. No, there's a little bit more.
Oh yeah, come. All right, verse 9. But thou shalt surely kill him. Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more such any such wickedness as this is among you.
There you go. You know, so it's always going back to the same phrase, to get this evil from among you, so everyone can fear. You know, but that's a beautiful one. There is one like forget how it's worded though, because it goes back to that no snitching policy as well. Of if you see something, you got to say something. If you seen somebody amongst the people committing Israel, then you have to bring him up, because if someone find out that you basically conspired in it and didn't say anything, you was held accountable.
And see, going back in with the theme that the bro taught at the lesson, niggas think this is strange.
Right.
You know?
Snitching, yup.
Yeah, you old snitch ass nigga. Snitches get stitches. I can't stand a rat. You see?
Yeah.
And a lot of us was in that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us believed in that holy. Might even struggle with that, you know?
yeah.
Like 6'9"? Yeah. You know?
You be like, nigga, you a rat, nigga.
You a rat ass nigga, man. They over there snitching and shit. Nobody, don't come around me, dog. You a snitch. But in actuality, you know, man come to you talking about some, let's go over here, let's go worship this and do. Looks like, get this nigga, get this.
We snitches now. We snitching on y'all. We snitching on these 2/3 niggas to the Most High.
Yep.
Look, Lord, these niggas is committing all types of acts of abominations. You know what I'm saying? We vexed by the filthy conversation of the wicked. We crying about the abominations that's being done in the midst thereof. Lord, please, can you judge these dudes, man? They committing adultery. They happy about it. They selling drugs and destroying our people. They cool with it. They want us to continue. Lord, it's time to take these niggas to court.
Take this shit to trial.
You know what I'm saying? We right there. Did you see such and such? Yes, I did. What they say? They say put your right hand. I forget what they say. Put your right hand up.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Absolutely.
We ain't swearing by nothing no heaven to earth, but
yeah, right.
The bro. Hey, we snitching on Esau.
Yeah, yup.
Blaming on Esau. All right, and so let me get this right. So I want to pull this up because, you know, the bro was saying like I said, the theme and the title of the lesson is, okay, they think it's strange, these different strange laws of the Bible, okay? So let's get this, Proverbs 28:5 says, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek Yahweh understand all things, okay? So a lot of these things, they have a reason why the Lord had them happen. Oh, they getting it in. They had a reason why the Lord had this happen, okay? And so we understand that. The Lord has been allowing us and opening our eyes more to what we can see why it wouldn't need to be no moles around, because it would influence people to be moles. We can see why no adultery could be around, because, man, adultery is just rampant. Mm-hmm. Okay, especially in this society. You see how much Jake love adultery. That's bragging rights for Jake. You know, I took a nigga, bitch. They just love it. They love it. You see? And so the Lord had to get that wickedness away from us. Because he knows us better than anybody. He knows how susceptible we are to folly and wickedness.
That's why the Lord repeats himself. When you look at a lot of scriptures, he's good. It's repetition. You know how apostles say repetition is key? The Lord knew what we was doing, and it was going to be continuous. So he got it in there. The same, not the same amount of times, but just continuous.
And he tells you over and over again, several different ways, the same story. Don't do this, because I'm going to fuck you up. If you do this, I'm going to fuck you up. Make sure you don't do that, because I'm going to fuck you up. And really, it's all the same action, but he got to switch it up a little bit so Jake can be like, oh, I heard this before. Yeah, I heard it over here. Yeah.
Did not I destroy these different nations for the same exact reason that I told you not to follow them? Mm-hmm.
What happened when they did it? I kicked their ass out the land and gave it to you.
Yep. All right, so let's go to the famous Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter. Verse 4. Let's start at verse 13. If any man take a wife and go into her and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. This shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he had given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. So this cloth, the tokens of her virginity, was to prove that my daughter wasn't no whore. Mm-hmm. So for you to be going around slandering my daughter, because it goes back to this. Everyone falls under that father's name, under that household. So that's a shameful thing for, you looking it up in our Apocrypha?
I think so.
It's a shame, it's a shameful thing of, to have to bear that reproach of while you're around the city of your daughter being this, your daughter being that. They would say, he ain't got his household in order. His daughter's running around the city rampant. That was a big thing, to keep your daughter in straightly.
Sure.
You got it? Okay. I know it's in.
Do you know where it is?
Maybe Sirach 25 or 26. Okay. See if I can get it real quick. But a brother might get it on the common board if they, maybe. Let's see. Boom, I got one. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 26, verse 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Watch over her an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler, when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. All right, so that's just one of them. But the scriptures talks about going into keeping your daughter in straitly. Okay, gotta keep your daughter in line, keep her in check. So when you look at it as the situation, what T.I. is doing, okay, how he goes to his daughter's
gynecology.
Her her health appointment. I don't know how to say that word, brother. Her health appointment though to make sure she ain't lose her virginity. People look at T.I. strange. I mean they demonize T.I., especially the women, but you even got some men. He don't need to be doing all that. Cause really these niggas is so out of whack, man. They don't mind if their daughters is tore up, man. But T.I.'s doing the right thing. We know he doing the right thing for us, that aspect, cause he's still a nigga. But in that, he's watching over his daughter,
I think 18, around 18 or above, maybe what you was looking for, or similar to it in Sirach 25?
25 or 26?
25.
Alright, you said 25, I wasn't there.
Oh, you wasn't in 25, Sirach
No.
25, around verse 18 or 17.
Well, that's talking about the wife. Really going to.
Well, remember you just brought out about you saying that my daughter was not a maid.
Yeah.
You married her and you said she was not a maid.
Mm-hmm.
And also you was going into how it can bring shame upon the father if you were
Right.
a certain way. So I don't know if that's the one. There's one that say basically about a woman that's shameless and her father and her husband shall hate her. I don't know exactly where that
I forget exactly.
You know what I'm talking about.
I forget where it is.
But I got this one in Sirach 40.
Mm-hmm.
Sirach 40 and
Is it 10?
Let me see if it's 10. Okay, it might be. Sirach 40 and Sirach 40 and you want me to read it at 9?
Mm-hmm.
And 9, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and care for her taketh away sleep. When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. He just brought that out, right? He said he hated her. He found her not a virgin, In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having an husband, lest she should misbehave herself.
Yeah. See, the daughter wasn't to have children while she was with her father's house. That was why she was always married. When she got married off in that time and go join her husband, that's when she was going to have that child, not her father's house. You dealing with that situation with Mary and Joseph, right? Mary and Joseph didn't go through that ceremonial act that they were supposed to go through. So that's why when it was time, it would have already looked like Mary was a whore, because they wouldn't have had that cloth to say, "Here go the token of virginity." What would have happened to Mary? She would have got stoned. No. What's up?
Daddy, your charger's not working and it's on 10%.
All right.
And they was both from a like a royal lineage, wasn't they?
Tribe of Judah, they both was.
You see,
They both
I
Judites.
thought some kind of roundabout way they was both descended from the royal line, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
both Judites. The royal line.
So their family would have definitely been trying to check for them tokens of virginity just to make sure to keep things prestigious, to keep things in order. They would have been like, where is this? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, they didn't go through the proper ceremonial marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So Joseph was short.
That was important, man, because if you didn't come up with the tokens of virginity, all right, she would die.
She would die.
She would die.
It
Straight
was straight. That's what we're reading right here. Well, that's what we're going into reading right here, because he's basically saying my daughter's a whore, but my tokens of virginity is proving that he's a liar, and my daughter ain't no whore.
That's right.
Because without that tokens of virginity, my daughter's getting stoned. She's getting put to death.
God.
You see how serious that was? These things were serious. That's why different laws were put in place. Okay? And different customs, like the tokens of virginity we had for nigga shit like that. Oh no, she a whore, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't no virgin. What? Yes,
Yeah, just
Okay.
continuing on the. No, you good, bro. Continuing on Sirach. Do you have something first?
No, go ahead, yeah.
Sirach 40 and 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies,
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
and a byword in the city, and a reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. So that was a great offense. That was like calling a nigga bitch ass nigga. Like nigga, you went on your job. You a deadbeat basically. You couldn't even take care of it. Make sure your daughter ain't get popped ahead of time. You gonna give her to me? She a hoe. She was nigga. Shit was looser than two gooses, nigga. What you going on around here? You know what I'm saying? But come to find out, you full of shit.
You even see that in the ancient movies, bro. If you gave a king or you promised a king's son your daughter, and your daughter wasn't, you know, she wasn't a virgin when he popped her, bro, that was a huge offense. I was like, that was a sign of disrespect, because the king will go to the other king and say, do you know that you promised off a whore to my son? And the father would be like, what? What you mean? Like, a whore? Now he's bringing the daughter down. Now he's asking the mom, like, wait a minute, like, what's going on? Who was it?
Hey, and King had the power to put people to death too.
Quick.
Shit, that's a death sentence. Could be for the father, and most definitely for the daughter. Go ahead.
Usually, like, when you watch these different movies, usually it'd be somebody in the household. It'd be like one of his servants or one of his you know, his servants, swordsman or whatever. You know, for the majority of the time, that's what you be saying. But that was a serious thing, because, like I say, that was a business transaction. You almost broke it. That's like broken a contract, because it was sealed through what? Through the marriage. You know, let our families grow together.
And then that's a strong accusation, okay? Because shit, man, there's so much that goes with it too. Because why you think the daughter had to be put to death? Because it was never meant for a woman to sleep with more than one man. So you also would be, that's like accusing of making a man commit adultery. If she already been popped, and then you give her to another man, and the other man ain't dead, now you just caused me to commit adultery with somebody else's wife technically. Because she's only supposed to pop that one dude and be married to him. Did you read the one where it says she shall be put to death? She had committed adultery.
I ain't get there yet.
Okay, come on. I was about to look it up, so I just wanted to go ahead.
All right, so verse 16, it says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter to this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he have given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him. And they shall amerce him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he brought upon an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. And she shall be his wife, and he may not put her away all his days. So not only can he not put that woman away, he got to give up 100 shekels. You know how much money that was? So now when we even get down to the nitty and gritty, which a lot of Israel don't want to deal with today, of having to give the fathers 50 shekels of silver, bro, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
You think a lot of Jake didn't have that just to go get this woman, go get that woman, and just be having all this money to give out? No. That would make Jake think twice of, I want her. I only got 80 shekels. Like, I ain't trying.
I'm good.
You know what I'm saying? Now, then I got to take care of her the whole time. Like, now she mine? Like, shit, I ain't got enough right now. Maybe when I get 200, I'm going to go get me one if she's still available. I only got 80? Nah. I got to wait. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come.
I'm just saying, bro.
Nah, straight up. You know, and yeah, that's it, man. You know, and what would you call that 100 shekels in today's time? You know how a motherfucker be like, I need compensation. That'll be for his pain and suffering. Because see, people wouldn't. Well, you know, with Israel, you know how we are, man. When Israel get a rumor, man, they start looking at a motherfucker sideways, bro. Walking through the hood, they looking like, yeah, I heard that nigga daughter, the hoe, nigga. You know what I mean? She played the harlot. Heardest thy the latest news?
That was the compensation, bro. The 100 shekels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the grief he had to deal with, just to even think like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Or people, you know.
What would it come to that?
You know, they walking through the city.
Yeah, because it said, because you have brought a bad name upon him. You're going to give it to the daddy because, man, you know how Jake is simple, man. Motherfuckers the judgment might have came down and proved it, But some Jake would have still probably been on that bullshit. Like, yeah, you know, I heard so and so. I heard so straight up, man. Jake be on that bullshit. Even if it was proved, man, some Jake is just simple, man. They would have still been causing him grief. So that was his pain and suffering. You got to pay for that. Cause now when he walking down the street, motherfuckers gonna be looking at him like, oh, I don't know, nigga. I ain't gonna be usury for you. You can't borrow no goats, nigga, cause you can't even take care of a daughter. How you gonna take care of a goat? No. You know, I don't think you gonna pay me back, dog. You know? Go ahead, dog.
Alright, so verse 20 says, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of her virginity be not found for the damsel, then shall they bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she have wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shall thou put evil away from among you. So that was very serious, man. Those are serious accusations, man. Okay, look up the we ain't got time today, but look up Susanna, the situation with Susanna. What it was two Jakes. They thought she was so beautiful, like, ooh, you're so beautiful. They had set up a plan, they tried to lay with her. She like, nah, you know, I gotta do it already. I'm cool. These niggas that made up a lie, almost got Susanna put to death. Or tried, I ain't gonna say almost, they tried to
entrap her, man.
Tried to entrap her. They tried to get her put to death. Cause they even said, oh, okay, well, we're gonna make something up. And she said, well, I'd rather you do this than that. I'd rather you take it, basically I'd rather you rape me than for me to
give it up willingly.
Give it up willingly, right?
Yeah, straight up.
That would be adultery. But if you rape me and I cry out, it's the same thing we about to go into with Deuteronomy 22.
To make it even more further lewdness, they was trying to gangbang.
Yeah, yes they were.
Make it even worse, man.
Them saying gangbanger, yeah, yes they were.
Wicked ass niggas. They're trying to either run a train or gangbanger. That's wickedness as hell, bro. Adultery on top of adultery, man. And I want to get the Leviticus priest what happened if his daughter did it. Leviticus 21:9. You ain't in 21, right?
I read it already. Go ahead.
Okay, and the daughter of a priest, of any priest, if she profane herself by playing the whore, she profaned her father, she shall be burnt with fire. So a normal woman, she would get stoned. But if you was a daughter of a priest, your ass got burned at the stake like a witch.
That's more severe.
That's way more severe. You burn your ass alive? Wow, bro. You smell your own hair burning and shit? That shit crazy. But that's the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shaka. That's a serious offense. The priests were meant to be pure. They couldn't even take a wife that was a harlot. Or they had a previous husband. She had to be a virgin.
Yep.
You see?
Verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman, married to an husband, then shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. Let's read that again, in case people don't understand these scriptures. And like we said, we're not dealing with emotions. Okay, we're dealing with the facts of the scriptures, right? Verse 22 again, Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed to a husband, meaning promised to that man, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both then ye shall bring them both out into the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones, that they die. The damsel, because she cried not. What does that mean? Because she didn't cry out. She didn't say, get off me. Okay? Meaning she... There you go.
In a lot of cases, them women be enticing it. They be, like a case was, but she was a heathen woman. Or who was that? Joseph. Joseph and his master's wife.
Yeah, and he got up out of there.
Yeah, he got up out of there.
And that would have been adultery if he just slept with the Pharaoh's woman.
Well, it wasn't a Pharaoh. It was his master.
Okay. Yes, all right.
Yeah, you good.
So it says And ye shall stone them with stones that they die, the damsel, because she cried not, because she wanted it, she allowed it. Being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. That's adultery.
Hell,
He humbled his neighbor's wife. He committed adultery.
and confusion as fuck. That shit's just off. You know, because you got that today, man. There's no way a woman should have multiple thoughts of different acts of sex in her mind while she's dealing with her guy.
Nope.
You know,
Nope.
that shouldn't be. That shit is off. Straight up, you know. And then crazy, man.
But verse 25, but if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. So in this particular case, the reason why he gets judged or he gets slayed alone is because he took this woman that belonged to someone in marriage, but she cried, basically saying, "I don't want you to do this. I'm not allowing you to do this." Okay, but he still forced himself upon her. But he got to get put to death because she was already promised in marriage, and he could continue to further, deal with this woman.
God, and see, that's the only instance where the man was not the only instance, but that's the instance where a man will be considered worthy of death. Okay, and the woman wasn't with it.
At fault.
Yeah, the woman wasn't in fault because see, in the other thing, let's say a woman wasn't with it. In the case that a man seized her and carried her away and popped her, okay, the man wasn't worthy of any punishment except for having to pay 50 shekels of silver, and that had to be his woman. That's just what the scripture said. It ain't like emotional. It ain't nothing emotional dealing with it. It's in the Bible, okay. He had to make her his wife. He had to pay the father, but he wasn't worthy of any greater punishment than that. He wasn't going to be put to death. He didn't get beat up. Okay, he wasn't supposed to. Let's say that.
We got it right.
Because in today, in this Babylonian mindset, you be ready to beat a nigga up, you be ready to jump him, shoot him, and do all these different things. Yeah, throw him under the jail. That's one of the harshest things you can do when you go to prison. You get raped by a dude, if you a weaker person or whatever, you'll get raped in prison because you raped a woman. But the scriptures don't have that harsh of a punishment for a man raping a woman. That's just the facts. Okay? He just had to make her his wife. Now, is it something that needs to be done? No, but that's the judgment that the Lord has set down for it.
His punishment falls, whereas if she is betrothed to a husband or if she has a husband, that's when he's
worthy of death.
Yup.
And if she was with it, they both nigga asses gotta die.
Yup.
And if they was out in the field and he overtakes her, yeah, his ass is worthy to be put to death
And she cried out.
because she belonged to somebody else. That's when you can get mad and get your emotions up and say, yeah, kill that nigga. Mm-hmm. But not before. Not when it was a woman who was single, ready to mingle, and got caught slipping. Was it something that needed to be done? Not necessarily. Sometimes it was to save the tribe of Benjamin. They had to snatch those women because they made an oath not to give their women to the tribe of Benjamin. Mm-hmm. And so in order to continue that nation, that tribe, they had to snatch up those women. So that was a case where it needed to be done, okay, and it was required. All right. So there was a punishment that was given, like the bro mentioned. Everybody didn't have money, so nigga, if you know you couldn't pay, you better not be out there snatching up women.
And Jake wasn't even just doing this on no everyday basis. It's
Right.
It's not that was happening,
Right.
but these laws were in place if it does take place.
That's right.
This is how I gotta be handled on this case-by-case situation. If it took place, that's all we're talking about. Just because y'all don't want to deal with it does not make the Bible wrong.
Don't make it go away. It don't make us rapists because
Yeah.
we telling you what the judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai are.
Right.
We just giving you the black and white about it. Take your feelings out of it. It's there.
It's there.
It's there. If this happens, this is the judgment. That's it.
That's That's
But
it.
like we read earlier, wicked men understand not judgment, but them that seek it, how about you shall understand all things. You have an unction from the Holy One, and you understand all things. It's right there. We understand why that had to happen. Primarily because you was taking away one of the servants from the Father, and you had to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
And also because she didn't have a choice in the matter, you can't get rid of her. You
Yep.
can't say I'm gonna pop you and let you go.
Yeah.
It don't work like that.
Yeah,
You
like-
forced her.
Yeah, like that deadbeat shit. No, bro, it didn't work. It wasn't like that.
You gotta take care of that woman.
Yeah.
That's you, player, for the rest of your
Rest
life.
of your life.
So you better hope that you wasn't, cause hey, look, you know how it is in today's standard, man. You might pop a woman and you don't want it no more.
Yeah, right.
You know, before we came into this truth, okay, we had them situations where it's like, ooh, what was I thinking? Yeah, let you do that in that time. That's you for the rest of your life, player.
Yep.
That's you.
Verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver. Now, going back, betrothed goes into a promise to someone in marriage. Like there was already agreement set out with the father.
Yeah.
Okay, you belong to such and such. And if somebody gets your daughter, now it's like you done messed up my business agreement. Now you got to give me 50 shekels of silver. 50 shekels of silver was not a little bit of money. It wasn't a little bit of funds, bro. A lot of people, you had people that had it, but you had people that didn't even have 50 shekels. You see?
Yeah.
He messed up his whole business agreement, so he had to get paid. But why isn't he getting judged? Because she wasn't betrothed to anyone and she didn't have a husband. So why there's no punishment coming upon this man?
That's right. And furthermore, that would have brought a bad name upon that father because he would have made that promise or that oath or that agreement to that man or that man's family to give that daughter unto that man. And what made him seem like he was not a man of his word for that to not occur. And so there had to be a punishment to show, no, this is why that happened. We ain't playing, she ain't played a harlot. That nigga took her and he gotta be put to death.
Right.
Or if she was with it, she had to die too.
Yeah, but if, like I said, if that nigga took her and she was a virgin, right?
Wasn't betrothed.
Wasn't betrothed, right.
That was it. That's why I mentioned that because that would also bring a bad name on the father to have made that arranged marriage, okay, and for her to either play the harlot or a man to force her into playing the harlot, because the man would have had made that arrangement. A lot of times those arrangements was made when women was young.
Yeah, Slakia. I slept. Slakia. I overthought it. So let me read that again. I was thinking something else. Slakia. Let me read that over. Let me correct myself. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife nor discover his father's skirt. So that's going to something different. But yeah, so she's not betrothed, she's not promised in marriage to anyone. So, he just had to get her father's 50 shekels of silver. Because that's when you went into he was basically saying you took one of my helps, one of my servants.
Yeah. The brother Shalom, the brother Daniela, Yasharala Parasayim prayer says,
So
I believe 50 shekels is $100,000.
in today's money.
Yeah, he that's what he says he believes it is. Yeah, that's a lot of money. 100, man.
Yeah, right. Jake wasn't just going around doing this, but there was something in place in case it happened.
Yeah, God. I mean, you see these cases happen all the time where laws were put into place because certain things were going on. Yahushua said, okay, he suffered your wives for you to divorce your wives because of the hardness of your heart, but from the beginning it was not so.
So why wasn't the man in the 28th verse judged? Why wasn't he put to death?
He didn't even get beat up.
He ain't even get beat up.
He didn't.
You know?
Jake be emotional. Jake be ready to fight.
But you couldn't. You wasn't allowed to do it. You couldn't do that. You couldn't put your hands on that man because he got your daughter. No, you got to pay that 50 shekels though.
God.
You got to run it, player.
Yeah. What was the Israelite sister name? Dinah.
Dinah. Oh yes.
See now, if there were other Israelite tribes around and Dinah would have got popped by a fellow Israelite, they wouldn't have been able to go and kill all of them like that.
Yeah, Dinah. Yeah.
But because she was a Hamite, yeah, it was over.
Yeah, because the Hamite dude took her, and Simeon and Levi was not with that.
Nah, but they would have just had to eat that anger if he would have been a Jake.
Jake. Oh yeah.
They would have had to eat that anger.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't promising nobody.
That's right. So hope y'all get it. Deuteronomy 22nd chapter. I mean, it's very plain. It's easy. It's easy to understand. You know, it goes to the levels of showing you of what would take place. You know, if he took the woman, she cried out, then he was put to death. They both was found laying together, and she didn't cry out. They was both put to death. Right? I said that right? Yeah. If they both got caught found together and she got a husband, they was both put to death.
Yeah.
Okay? If he found her in the field and she cried out, he was put to death, and she was released because she cried out. She didn't allow it. But then in another case, if she did allow it, they was both put to death. If she was promised to someone, put to death. But she wasn't promised to anyone, and he grabbed her up. He was cool. He was free and clear. Just run that money. Run them 50 shekels, player. I mean, that's it. That's the
Yeah, and you know, just going back to the statement that the bro made, which is the title of it, Strange Laws of the Bible and Rebellion. Mm-hmm. And the reason why these things are strange is because Jake does not understand the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and therefore they think these things to be strange. These things they set you out. They exclude you from the rest of the group because you believe in the ways and seek after the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know, and I just had a few precepts and then we gotta close out.
What Apostle Tahar say? You niggas been in America too goddamn long.
Hell yeah. We will fucking kill you. You don't repent, man. Straight up. So let's read this. All right. Isaiah 59 and 15 says, Yea, true faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. What the bro read earlier, right? I've given you laws, statutes, and judgments, man. And people don't understand the judgments. And so therefore what? They look at you like you are wicked or like you crazy, you know?
There's a law. Thou shalt not bear false witness. A lot of y'all got to pay for all that slander y'all put on us. And our apostles and elders had to go through. You know, a lot of people, y'all still look at us today some type of way with the slander. Y'all got to pay for that.
That's right.
Y'all better repent.
You know, Proverbs 28 and 5, evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek Yahweh understand of all things. Want to bring that back out. All right. Let's get this. Proverbs 9 and 10, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So we'll just wrap it up with that.
Yeah. Close out. I gotta get my son. Go ahead.
Hey, so with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or HaHaKadosh. Number honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. You want any closing statements?
Hey, shalom, Yahweh Shem, Shabbat Shem, HaHaKadosh, Barakatham. Lord willing, I hope this lesson was edifying.
Hey, Barakatham to the sincere people on the comment board. Hey, shalom.